Gotta love Shimano products.
Gotta love Shimano.
Gotta love Shimano. Have my Shimano hat here.
Gotta love Shimano.
Gotta love Shimano.
Gotta love Shimano.
Gotta love Shimano. Shimano bag right here. Gotta love Shimano.
Gotta love Shimano.
Gotta love Shimano.
Shimano rules. Just using my new Shimano Convergence I picked up on the weekend. So, hey, that's a bonus.
Gotta love that new Shimano Symetra RH. Gotta love Shimano.
Gotta love Shimano. Show off your Shimano pliers.
You gotta love your Shimano. Oh, nice thing.
Always gotta love Shimano. Got my Shimano 2500 HG FX right here.
Shimano rules. Fish on, guys.
Good evening, all. Mike is with. There you go, Mike's. What's going on? What's going on, Mike? Sorry we're late, guys. We're having audio difficulties. We're hoping we'll be able to get through this so that you guys can hear everything that we're saying. Hopefully, someone can give us a thumbs up that you can hear Mike and I a-okay.
All right. I'm here with 450 students. We have student trustee elections, but today we have another huge announcement who is competing in the CFN Fish Off. You can hear me all right, Scottie?
100%, buddy.
All right. So we revealed last week that the drag pullers, well, we didn't reveal, they earned the right to be in the next season of the CFN Fish Off, which is season 4. And you can see where I'm at. All these people are excited to be here. And I'm excited because there are 2 teams backstage who we are going to reveal. And finally, they could say to their family and friends, I will be on season 4 of the CFN Fish Off, because they've been holding it in for a very, very long time. And Scottie, you know, the reason why people compete is to potentially get on the show. And even though these gentlemen and these teams did not win last year, when we reveal them, there will be no surprise why they were selected, because their angling prowess. If you look at the leaderboard, you see these gentlemen's names all over that leaderboard, and that's why they were selected. So, Scottie, let's want to reveal all 4 gentlemen, or you want to reveal one team at a time?
Mike, what I would suggest we do is one at a time, only because of the amount of reverb and echoing that we had before we went live. So I would do it one at a time. But yes, just to echo your sentiments, 100%. These lads have certainly earned their spot. As I said to one of them before we went live, it brings a certain sense of credibility to have them involved. And as I said, I'm honored and proud to see these guys a part of this year's CFN Fish Off.
I think season 4 will be the most epic as well as the most competitive because of the format. So let me reveal the format first. We have the drag pullers from Ontario. We have another team that you will meet tonight, also from Ontario. And you'll have a third team that you will meet tonight, also from Ontario. So we have 3 Ontario teams. What's going to happen is we are going to pair those 3 Ontario teams, random draw, with a team from Manitoba, which we'll reveal next week. Another Ontario team will pair up with a team from Saskatchewan, which we'll also reveal next week. And then the third Ontario team, we will pair up with a team from, what's the one I'm missing, Scottie? From, did I say Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan? So those are the provinces that will be represented, and we will reveal those next week. So to recap, 3 teams, 4 anglers per team. Each team will represent 2 provinces, Ontario and one of our prairie provinces, whether it's Manitoba, Saskatchewan, or Alberta.
And it looks, Mike, like we're going to have BC because Adele's going to move there. So next year, the following year, we're going to have BC involved in this.
Yeah. And we wanted to make sure we had a whole bunch of female anglers involved as well.
Amen.
So you're not going to see some female anglers from Ontario teams today. You're going to see 4 amazing gentlemen introduced today. But next week, you're going to be introduced to 5 amazing women. So let us reveal, and it's probably a no-brainer. This team was one of the top teams in Ontario, 2nd place overall. Let's give it up to Jesse and Ben.
There we go. Jess and Ben. Yeah, baby.
What's going on?
Oh my gosh, gentlemen, no one's surprised that they see you two guaranteed, because you two just hit it out of the ballpark. So my first question to you guys is, there might be some teams out there that are like, I don't know if I should compete. I don't know if I should compete. What can you tell them about how fun your experiences was, and why after this broadcast they should go to cfnfishoff.com and sign up? Jesse, you first.
Well, last year was our first year in CFN. We were really, it's anybody's game. You know, you never know what the weather's going to bring you. You never know what's going to be on the end of your line. So when it comes to multi-species, you really have some opportunities depending on exactly where you're going and what you're targeting. So being as it was our first time, you never know what the second time is going to bring. And I think anybody, if it's their first time, has an opportunity.
Yep, guaranteed. And Ben, what do you think? Why should people sign up?
Well, it's a great experience. You get to go out. You get the chance to be on TV. You're out fishing anyways most of the time in the summer if you love fishing. So why not enter your fish, try to win some free things, get to meet new people. How many people have me and Jesse met through the CFN that became friends? So you can plan vacations around it. You can do your first week local, fish all everything you can around you, and then maybe you want to go up onto a lake that has walleye and pike that you don't have locally. You can go away for a weekend, plan something, make a summer of it, just enjoy it.
100%. If you're fishing anyways, man, if you're fishing anyways, you might as well sign up and enter those fish, because like it says behind Scottie, you could win some free prizes, including some free Shimano. Scottie, I'm going to ask one more question. I'm going to ask you to take over, because this crowd is getting rowdy over here. Oh, there we go. Winners from last year. This year we're doing something different because we are using the MyCatch app. And I know you both were part of Multispecies Madness. Can you just talk about the ease and how organized it is, and how, you know what, secret spots do say secret, even though you're using the MyCatch app? And I'll leave you with that question, Jesse and Ben. And Scottie, I might come on a little later.
Okay, sounds good, Mike. Go ahead, Jess.
Well, doing Multispecies Madness last year, you know, it was a little nerve-wracking starting at first, just kind of, you know, having to upload your things on an app and just seeing where you're going. But once you kind of see the platform and you can kind of talk to the moderators behind the platform, you start to realize that there is a lot of security behind your spots. It is safe. And then, you know, you also can use the platform to kind of log your own catches and future records. And there is a lot more than just Multispecies Madness behind it as well. So there's some good science there as well. And a lot of the research goes towards the ministry to help them, you know, clean out certain areas of goldfish or any invasive species as well that are found. So it can be pretty helpful to the ministry. So I wouldn't be too worried about sharing your spots compared to, you know, seeing people's pictures nowadays online and other social media platforms. If you're worried about your spot being burned, you better not post a picture anywhere else. So
that's a great
that's
tip.
what it really boils down to.
Great tip. I'll bring Ben in now and ask him also. Ben, is there any advice that you can give maybe someone that is brand new to the fish off, some things that they might not anticipate, things they may not have thought of getting into the competition, or just some general advice for any new participants partaking in the CFN Fish Off?
If you're struggling with species sometimes, just give it a break, try somewhere else, try another species, take your mind off of it. Don't waste too many days trying to get that one species. If you're having troubles, just move on, try to get something else. Don't get frustrated, and focus on the little things when there's so much more out there you could be going after and chasing to get points. Like, how many days did me and Jesse waste on trying to get a Horny Creek chub that was over the 8-inch slot size? It was
that treacherous.
Like right now, I can go to the creek when I'm trout fishing, and you'll catch one that's 12 inches. But when the time comes, you go to the same spot, and you're like, okay, now I'm catching a 6-inch ones. Where are all the big ones that we were catching that were destroying our row bags in the spring? So it's about focusing your time and kind of managing what you can do in a short span sometimes. Take advantage. If you know somewhere close has sunfish and you only have half hour after work, take advantage of that. Go knock the sunfish off. You don't have to waste a day where you could drive an hour somewhere or go sit out for carp where something takes a little longer that you know you're going to get it, but you have to put a little more time in. So it's time focusing is a good thing. Also, lures. If you're out trying something, it's not working, just change it up. Sometimes going minimal works the best. Like, how many times me and Jess were out, he's out using lures. I put on the little white twister tail on a jig head. I started out fishing Jesse with a little twister tail. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, can't go wrong with the white twister tail on a jig head. The walleye, the bass, the crappie, everything will eat it. So sometimes if all else fails, just go simple. Simple is key sometimes.
Amen. And to answer your question, Tony, what is with the hairy faces? Well, these lads don't have time to shave. They're too busy fishing. They're just too darn busy fishing. Anyway, gents, I'm going to put you backstage because, of course, we want to reveal the next team. Ben, Jess, hang on real tight, and we'll get back to you. Hopefully, Mike will join us again. Again, this is the reveal for yet another team that is going to be joining the CFN Fish Off that you will see on TV4, Season 4, which is going to be epic. And these names, of course, they need no introduction. If you are an avid angler and you are on Facebook, you're going to know these two. Sean McLaughlin and Nikki. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you on, both of you. Sean, I want to congratulate you, my friend, on that recent buffalo that you just caught. I'm really hoping for your sake that fish is going to hang around for the CFN Fish Off.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm not going to keep my fingers crossed too much. That was just a bycatch. It's not like I was out targeting carp or suckers. And yeah, I was trying for a silver bass for a different tournament that I'm doing right now on the MyCatch app. And yeah, that was just a bycatch. I ended up snagging it with a crankbait while trying for silver bass. So I'm not going to take any credit for that, but at the same time, it was still cool knowing the area that they're around and, you know, kind of having an understanding that maybe, you know, come tournament time, I can focus on a certain area and have a little more confidence than I had before, knowing that, you know, there may be some around.
100%. And I will ask you before we get to Nick that, you know, you would be one lad that I would say would be very confidential when it comes to where you fish, some of your spots. Sometimes you're out in the open, sometimes you make it public because you want to see others catch fish. But can you speak to perhaps some folks that have concerns about their spots, some of their personal information, or just their locations being shared on the MyCatch app? Because I'll tell you, you buying into it was a big thumbs up for us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as far as my knowledge is the app collects the data for the ministry, and as Jesse stated previously, there's only maybe I think 1 or 2 people who have access to that information, and you know, I would hope that, you know, there's nobody out of those 2 people that are, you know, using the information for their personal gain. Right. But also, as Jesse stated, you know, if you want to worry about your spots, well, you can't even post a picture these days without people analyzing and, you know, checking your photos for little hints and details of where you're fishing. You almost got to take a picture in a closet if you want no one to know where you're fishing. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to bring in Nick next. Nick, I got to ask, one, welcome to the CFN Fish Off, but again, your name needs no introduction. When it comes to species, and the start, and of course we're all vibrating, we're all jonesing to get out there and get a line wet. What are you looking and what are you hoping for when you first start? Is there a target species that you're going to go after first? What do you have planned?
Yeah, without giving too much away, there's definitely a few species that are easier before the weather gets too hot. Those will be my target first week. Of course, a variety of suckers that kind of disappear once the weather gets warmer, but there's a few others that you really want to knock out right off the bat, for sure.
100%. And anybody that perhaps maybe is new to the CFN fish off, they're sitting on the fence whether they want to compete. Is there any advice or anything that you could advise them on either signing up like right now or waiting perhaps?
I don't see any reason not to, whether your goal is to catch one fish or get a ballot in every weekly draw. Maybe you want to catch 10 species, compete against another team that's, and is local to you. I really don't see any reason. There's no downside to competing.
100%. And last question for you. What species seems to evade? What are you hoping for in terms of that exotic species, that one species that you've targeted year after year, haven't really got a chance, but because it's going to be on TV, you're hoping you're going to catch this season?
Oh, there's two I'm going for. I've never caught before. I don't think they've ever been entered in the CFN before, but some of the harder species, the ones that got away from me last year, the ones I really want this year, which could be as simple as a white sucker or creek chub, because been getting away from me too. But just anything that got away from me last year, I want a rematch with.
Absolutely. Right on, Nick. Well, as I said, thanks so much for joining us and being a part of the CFN Fish Off. And as I said, our community wishes you all the luck in the world in catching, as Adele would say, that unicorn fish. Sean, I'm going to ask you the same question, dude. I don't know how many species of fish I've seen you hold up over the years. Is there one fish that you're hoping is going to be at the end of your line so that you can hold it up and be proud to say, I finally got it on TV?
Well, I definitely wouldn't mind catching a buffalo legit without, snagging it by accident. But that's one that I tried for last year. Didn't really have much knowledge of where to find them. Had an idea, but didn't even really know how to target them. So I'm going to be doing my homework and doing a little research and seeing what, could benefit me. But I would like to get that one. And I believe we even have smallmouth buffalo around here. So, I'm trying to challenge myself with species that I would never fish for, aside the tournament. I would never usually go out and target those fish. So that's something that would be kind of cool to me to, go out and purposely target and catch. But at the same time, you can't waste too much time on one species. So, with that said, I'll give it a little shot. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Right on. I'm going to bring the rest of the teams in here so that we can wrap up our 20 minutes. Speaking to all of you again, it's a pleasure and an honor to be able to speak to such prominent anglers as you folks. But I'm going to ask Jess, is there a particular bait that you maybe bought over the winter that you can't wait to try for a specific species this year? Obviously, I don't want you to reveal too much, but is there a bait or a product that you're looking forward to using this spring for the fish off?
I don't necessarily say I bought it over the winter, but this spring I definitely got a few bags of some cut stuff for some fish that I'm gonna kind of excited to use for this fish off. So,
and are you gonna use a good amount of everything, cut bait as well as plastics and hard baits?
I use everything and anything I can.
That works. Yeah,
anything that works.
Amen. Ben, I'm going to ask you the same question. Is there anything that you bought over the winter or perhaps is new to your tackle box that you're looking forward to seeing and using during the CFN Fish Off this year?
Well, during the winter, I always end up buying some small crappie fishing stuff, and it normally makes its way out of the ice fishing tackle bag into the summer, because sometimes the big brown trout and brook trout really like a little grub, or just like one of those micro crankbaits that are the size of your pinky nail. something like that, even under a float, can get you a sunfish the size of your hand that you've never seen before. So
that's awesome.
Sometimes bringing the ice fish and stuff that you might have bought and never even got a chance to use, you can still get a chance to use it in the spring and the summer, trying to get those bigger panfish to come out.
Amen. And Big Jim talks about it all the time when we go live for CFN on Mondays. Downsize is key, especially when we have fish that are being heavily pressured. Well, I just wanted to say, on behalf of CFN and the CFN Fish Off, this is our last stop for Team Ontario. These individuals, as I said, I'm honored to be rubbing shoulders with such prominent anglers. It's an honor to do edits for you guys. It's an honor to follow and see some of your exploits. And as I said, Sean, I was just as happy and proud to see you hold up that buffaloes as I'm sure you were. For anybody who has not signed up for the Fish Off, make sure you do so. We are going to be having an early bird prize. And of course, the thing is, you don't have to catch a fish to win. Gentlemen, thanks so much from Team Ontario, our CFN community, for joining us tonight. For everyone else who also joined us in the audience, thanks for all of your positive comments and just being you. In the meantime, stay classy, and we'll see you next Monday. All the best. Peace, guys.
Have a good night.